To the Arsenal show. We are live, and you've probably heard it all before, but you're going to hear it again because this is the Arsenal show, and yesterday was a different show. So we're going to be talking about Arsenal's win against Manchester City 5-1. We're also going to be preparing for the big game tomorrow against Newcastle, and it kind of leads into the Newcastle game, to be fair, because I feel like we could do what we done to Man City against Newcastle. Newcastle have not been great of late, especially at home, and we play Newcastle away in the second leg of the Carabao Cup tomorrow. It's a big game, and I really do think if we get an early goal tomorrow, we could repeat what we did against Man City. Maybe not 5-1, but I think we could get a 3-0 victory, which would put us through into the final. I'm joined by Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, how you doing, Kieran? How you doing, everybody out there?
Good. We spoke about Arsenal yesterday, about the 5-1 victory, but we've got to speak about it today. We can speak about it in a little bit more depth. We can dig around in different avenues.
Yeah.
One place I want to start is there's a lot of very, very upset fans out there, and it's not even just Man City fans.
No, it's all clubs.
It is all clubs.
It's all. What is? I don't know what it is. What's the matter?
I don't know. It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd. Look,
I don't understand.
I
really
don't understand how everyone else would act if they were to beat the current champions 5-1 the way we did. Like, it doesn't happen every day. Let's not make it out that it does. And I don't think our celebration was too overzealous either. I thought that we were happy on the day. A couple of videos went out. That was about it.
Yeah.
In the day, in the moment, once it's done, we move on. But then everyone started going back to everything we did in the moment. The Be Humble, the music played in the background, the Gabriel shouting at Haaland like he's precious. Of all people, Haaland. Yeah. Why is everyone looking after Haaland all of a sudden? He's all right. He can handle himself. He's a big boy.
Yeah, very big boy.
He was able to handle himself when he was throwing footballs at people. He was able to handle himself when he was getting in people's faces and telling them to be humble and calling previous players from the club that he was at clowns. But all of a sudden, he needs protection.
And the thing is that Man City didn't really, their players didn't really seem that thingy about protecting him anymore, did they? They seemed a little bit scared of us now. Do you know what I mean? I think, and that's why. But you're right, mate, because you know we can't take away what happened at Etihad. Yeah, we can't. I keep hearing that. Oh, you know, you should be bigger than this.
Why? Why?
No.
Why do we need to be bigger?
No, we're not. Why? We're not going to be bigger than this.
No,
we're not going to. We're petty. We're petty. We're very petty. Yeah, but we'll be professional on Wednesday night, and we'll go back to the Arsenal, and Arteta won't let them to be petty. If that's what the word that we're using, but we can't. We're not going to forget about it. We're not going to forget about it because what happened at the Etihad was nowhere near as bad as what happened, you know, at the Emirates on Sunday. You know, but it was 50 times more sweet. Because do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, look, Ireland he threw the ball at Gabriel, which was cowardly. You know, we've all get. He went to our manager. Do you know what I mean? And you know, our manager's just come out to shake hands with, you know, players, and he's all of a sudden tapped him on the shoulder, and all of a sudden said to him, you know, stay humble, stay humble. What's that about? And then he's telling a young kid to basically, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I don't look. It's been and now we just got we just murdered them on the football pitch, and we got our own back. You know, with Gabriel getting in his face and you know pulling his arms and telling him to pick his boot up and all these little things and it's lovely and these little things that you know were getting up and it did and he you know he didn't know who Skelly was. Who are you? Well, he knows who he is now, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? I'm sure he does now. And the celebration, you love that, mate. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. It's all good fun. It's all good jokes. The humble after the after the on the Tannoy after the when we won. That's all fun. It's nowhere near the cowardness and the low sort of things that they did at the Etihad. And as I say, and the added thing is they got spanked as well. And you got Bernardo Silva, going around crying again. He cried in the Etihad. He's crying at the Emirates. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what's the matter with this bloke. Maybe he's got some kind of affliction or something where he keeps crying. I don't know what we would call. Maybe he needs to take something for it. But he's going around kicking people because he knows that they're done. They're done. I've said it for a lot. I've said it since the beginning, the end of last year, even when they won the title. Their time was coming, and this ain't just about Rodri. Do you know what I mean? They're in an awful state. But yeah, it was sweet, very sweet, mate.
Melvin, welcome, Melvin.
Good evening, boys.
An emphatic win on the weekend. A lot of noise has been made from rival fans. What was your take on the game? Arsenal looking like they're in a nice bit of form of late, and compounded Manchester City's miseries on the weekend.
It's all about momentum, to be honest with you, Kieran. When it was 1-0, even when 1-0 to us, which is after a couple of minutes, never felt comfortable. At half time, didn't feel comfortable. We've seen it all before. And with that miss by Havertz, everyone was saying, well, I was, if we don't win this, he's going to get pelters. Absolute pelters. And I think we were fortunate that we got the second goal, straight after they scored, because they had all the momentum, City, because they had momentum before they scored. We just sat back. And it proved to be right at the end, but I think that had we sat back when it was 1-1, the nerves might have been a bit jangly. But when we went 2-1 up again, we thought, well, now we can score against this mob again. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, we went from second to third to fourth gear, and they couldn't touch us. That's the first time I've seen City got beaten before by other teams. They get beat. Not many times they get beat, but I've never seen them so demoralised. Their spirit seemed to drain from them. They seemed like white flag job. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. And they were like a heavyweight champion who's getting beat and wants the ref to finish the fight. He wants someone in his corner to throw the white towel in because he's had enough. And it was lovely to see. And you talk about Silva, he's a filthy sod, isn't he? He gets away with it. I suppose I don't know, he just gets away with, he kicked someone on the floor, didn't he?
Trossard.
And all this about having a go at we've got to do this and we shouldn't be doing that. Any other club does it, it's fine. You throw the ball in back of someone's head, which is against the rules, no problem at all. You have a little jib, all of a sudden it's the worst thing in the world. It's the hypocrisy out there is unbelievable. But I don't care. We got the 3 points, and more than that, we gave them a spanking. So we're happy.
Yeah, no, we did. We definitely did. Mel, I want to the Lewis Skelly celebration's been getting a lot of attention. Do you think he went too far? Or is it just fun and games?
Well, first of all, before I answer that, why did he think he was ever going to score? He must have had that planned, mustn't he?
I don't know. I think it was intuitive. Because they watch a lot of football. He would have watched because that was against Paris Saint-Germain, wasn't it? He did that celebration for when he was at Dortmund, wasn't it? So he would have been young. He would have watched that game, and I think he would have just came to him there and then. I don't think he would.
Kieran, if you score an important goal like that, and you're 18 years old, you score a goal, your first ever goal. So would you be thinking of that? I can't believe it.
I've lost it.
Your brain's going everywhere. Your emotions are everywhere. How did he think of that? I don't understand it. Was it too much? No, it wasn't. Because he's a big boy now. He's 18, but he's gone up a grade. And now he knows that he'll have the Mickey take out of him perhaps one day. So he knows the situation. He ain't going to complain, and he'll carry on doing it. So good luck to him.
Yeah. I think that's fair. And Steve, a lot of people have been complaining, but isn't this what we want? this kind of rivalry. I know people say that Man City and Arsenal aren't a rivalry. We'll let them have that. But these two, and I think when the dust settles, they've got respect for each other. They've got respect for the fact that it's a battle. Do you know what I mean? Even then, where Haaland points at his badge, he gives it that because he knows he can't say anything, but he's thinking in the back of his head, "You wait till I've got mine." So I'm all for it. It adds a little bit of spice to the game. It adds a little bit of entertainment that's just not the standard Arteta versus Guardiola. Like, it's players on the pitch that can make a real difference in that battle as well. And it's two big lumps as well. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. I mean, there's not really a rivalry between the managers, are they? They're best mates, and they won't hear a bad word said about them, will they?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I've seen pre-match press conferences, you know, when they're asked about, especially like on the last game when they played, you say, "Oh yeah, Arteta said this, and Pep, you said this about you," and they're trying to get one of them to say that, and they're just like,
get his phone out and say, "Did you say this?" No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, he said no. He said, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. We talk all the time." He's like, "Yeah, we chat. It's nothing. What, and that's it." But so then it goes on to the pitch, and you look at the rivalries on there, and the biggest rivalry on the football pitch is Gabriel and Haaland, and it's like this little added, you know, second film, if you like. When you go to the pitches, you get that one that's going on in between, and it's great to watch, isn't it? I mean, it's just fun to watch. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because not many people get the best of Haaland, do they? Do you know what I mean? Centre backs, he generally sort of, you know, gets. I mean, to be fair to him, he scored a goal. So I mean, and
took it well,
he did took it well, and he reacted pretty well after. He could have gone run up to Gabriel, and he could have looked in his face and gone, "Oh, what were you saying there?" You know, but he probably thought best of it.
Let's wait.
Yeah,
you don't want to do that.
So Gabriel probably slipped up a little bit when he did it. You know, he could have done. It could have turned out a little bit worse for him. But I love all his boot come off, didn't it, Gabriel? And he's pointing to Haaland. Can you pulling his shirt? Can you pick up my boot for us, mate? And that, do you know what I mean? And Neville's going, "Oh, I'd give him." I'm surprised he hasn't said nothing to him and all like that. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of respect between the two. And I see all that. I don't mind that. See the pushing the badge. A lot of Arsenal fans got a little bit. I don't mind that.
They're going to, though, aren't they?
I don't mind those pressings. I'd do the same. What I didn't have respect for Haaland was what he did at the Etihad.
Throwing the ball,
Throwing the ball. But to be fair to Haaland, right, and Arsenal fans have given lots, but he scored the goal. You know, he just sort of he didn't go mad. It was 1-1. He went, "I scored the goal." He'd give it the old, "There you go," and rightly so, because he's one of the best strikers in the world. Do you know what I mean? You got to respect him.
Yeah.
And the pointing on the badge, that's fine by me. I ain't. That's all part of it. It's what he did before at the Etihad was what I didn't like.
100%. You don't disrespect the manager of another team.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm actually probably 100% sure that Pep pulled him and said that was.
I bet he did.
Bang out fucking order.
He went very, very quiet. His form dropped off and everything. I think he got a bit of a off because it wasn't just a former assistant manager.
His mate.
Friend. It was a former player in Gabriel Jesus, where he called him a clown. There was a lot of disrespect to players and people that are loved by that team. Maybe not the fans anymore, but within that club.
What he said, didn't he? He said again in the post match, you know, a journalist asked Arteta. He said, "What did you think of the Lewis Skelly and the Gabriel carry-ons on the pitch?" And he just went. Arteta said, "He said, look, my players know what I think," and that was it. And he just left it at that. So take for that for what you will. But he probably don't like it. I don't think Arteta likes it. But as a fan, I love it.
Yeah, we do.
You won't believe the geezer next to me, young kid. Sorry, Kieran. Just so we're talking about the guy. The kid, he doesn't come every week because he gets a ticket off someone. But this week he's with us. He's 14 years old. He sat next to me and he goes, "You know what? Yeah, I think Skelly's going to score today." I looked at him like he was absolutely mad. I thought, "How did you pick that one out?" carried on and started to watch the game.
That's the only thing he said to you. Well, you tell him next week. If he gives you a tip like that next week, you make sure you send it to me.
Exactly.
Do you know what it was? It was almost like, because it was, I can remember, I don't know if we've all played football. I don't know if you remember in the game, sometimes you had to think, I sometimes used to say to yourself, you know, I'm going to go and score. I've had enough of this.
Especially when you're a sub.
Yeah, with your sub.
Or you scored an own goal.
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story. Right, I was 14 years old. Right, I used to play for a men's team because I was pretty tasty. Right, so I was playing for a men's team, but I always put me sub every week. Every week I was sub, but these were men, 25, 26. I was 14. I was on the bench every week to go over and freeze me nuts off over at the Marshes, standing there. Always sub, never got a game. Anyway, one day, like, someone come over, my dad come over and went, "Oi, you, the geezer, why ain't he playing again? He should be playing." "Yeah, he's only 14. He should be playing." I went on. Well, I've had enough. I literally ran to score 2 goals, exactly the same goals, run through all the defences, bang 1, bang 2. And that's what reminded me of Lewis Skelly. He was like a young kid who was like, "I want to go and score now. I've had enough of this." And he just ran up and just went, "Goal." Do you know what I mean?
Class. It was class. And then to finish it off with Ethan Wanyeri with a lovely, lovely goal. And what we came to find at the end, 36 passes, every single player in the team touched it before Wanyeri scored. Absolutely crazy goal and a beautiful finish as well. I think that might be in the nominees for goal of the month. Lovely touch to see the 2 youngsters get on the score sheet as well, Mel, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, they got ice in their veins, didn't they, the pair of them?
Yeah.
You didn't know how old they were. You'd think they've been playing for about 4 or 5 years. They just, nothing phases them at any level. I mean, and Nwari scored in Europe in the Champions League the other week.
Yeah,
it was like we were playing down the Hackney Marshes, Steve. He didn't make no sense, did it?
I know. It just
he's got that sort of fearlessness, didn't he?
No fear.
He scored. He didn't go too berserk, did he? He turned around and went, "I've scored." He didn't start rushing around and doing, somersaults and all that.
Just give it that, didn't he?
They made something else than Powerlanders these days.
What do you expect?
One of the defender has got the composure to do a celebration from 4 seasons ago, even 5 years ago, and the other one who scored a goal, which could be probably one of the goals of the month. Touched 36 players. He bends it round 3 defenders, and puts it in top bins, and then just like.
The goalie's still looking for that ball, for the 5th goal.
I love it the way they back themselves because they're such nice kids from what I'm hearing. Good families.
Yeah.
They're like really intelligent. Do you know what I mean? They're very they've got like
very grounded.
Yeah,
the mother is top notch.
It was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are supposed to be like AAA students and all this lark. Do you know what I mean? And and you can see it. And I think Arteta wouldn't be playing them and doing if they wasn't. You've got to be grounded. They've got minds of like 20 players in their mid-20s, and you can tell that from the way they play because they're so calm. And when they get the ball, you're not like you don't panic when they get the ball, do you?
No.
Normally you're like, well, hold on a minute. What were you going to do? As soon as Skelly or Namwari gets the ball, you're thinking, right, what's Skelly going to do now? Is Namwari going to absolutely put it on his left bent in the top corner? And it don't matter who it's against. If he can do it against the champions and in the Champions League, now you're like, well, he can do it anywhere. So, it's great. We never expected this, did we, boys? We never expected to be talking like Namwari and Skelly. We all thought this might, we were just hoping that maybe they get a few games this season and they could break through in a few, but never this.
Yeah. And especially, I think Wanyeri was the guy that's been around since he was the youngest footballer.
15, wasn't he? 15?
Yeah, to play in the Premier League 2 seasons ago against Brentford. And now he's scoring against Manchester City. But his was the name, and the other one was Lewis Skelly, who's come out of nowhere, really. He's stepped up straight away to cover in a position, and he's held his own. And he's been absolutely brilliant. So good luck to him. And I think that grounding has helped them to sort of continue their consistency and form. So I hope long may it continue. Big game coming up tomorrow in the Carabao Cup, Steve, against Newcastle United. Newcastle's form of late has not been great, and I really do think Arsenal can exploit that. They scored 5 past Man City. Newcastle have conceded 3s and 2s at home. It's definitely. I feel like because they're a team that hasn't won anything in a long while, that if we could get an early goal, I think the crowd will get on their backs. They start hearing the sort of the moans and groans from the crowds. You can hear the nervousness that will transfer. We get another go, it's 2-2. We're well in there, and I could just see it. I could just see it. But we do have to get an early goal.
Yeah, definitely, mate. An early goal is what's needed, but I think the main thing, like as we sit now, is as fans, rather than maybe a few weeks ago, is like the confidence now and the way the team's playing. Do you know what I mean? We're going into the Newcastle game and we're off the back of like a fantastic beating Wolves down to 10 men, with our backs to the wall, obviously, and looking like, we had 11 men against Wolves and we was excellent then. I think did we go behind against Girona, or we got pulled back and then we went
back to 1-0, didn't we?
Yeah, and then we went on and won that in the end as well. And again with Man City, do you know what I mean? A big game like that, they got come back. We went and won that, convincingly. Everything's pointing to now I feel confident again. Do you know what I mean? And like you said, mate, it's get an early goal, quieten the crowd. I can remember a little while ago when we did that. We went to Newcastle and it was all like, oh, you're going to get beat, you're going to get done. It was away from home. And we quieted them down in literally like 10 minutes. I mean, and we need to do that. And I think Arteta will know that they're not on form, like you said, and they've been beat there recently at home a couple of times. And he's going to say, just go out there and just go at them. Do you know what I mean? Hit them early. Don't let them, don't have this. We're in a sort of space now where I think we can go and attack them and beat them and score goals. So I don't think we can play any other way. I think we've got to go at them.
Yeah, we do. I agree.
We've got to go at them. So I'm looking forward to it, mate. I wasn't, but I am now. I mean, it's still 2 goals from probably still favourites. But yeah, if we can get that early goal, mate, and look, Newcastle are going to be thinking. Arsenal just come back off of a 5-1. They're getting a little bit of form going there. Confidence in the team. Rice is now all of a sudden getting better. Martinelli starting to perform with it. Trossel's getting a bit better. Players are starting to perform again. So yeah, look, I'm excited. It'd be interesting to see what team he picks and what team he starts with. Yeah, the big one for me is Willie playing Namweri, because I think Namweri up against Dan Burn. Yeah, because he'll be playing at left back. I think he'd absolutely skin the life out of him, and I think Burn would be scared of him. He'll know now. He'll be thinking. He'll be sitting at home at the moment. He'll be thinking, are they going to play that kid? Because he's going to.
Yeah, when everyone fancies a chance against Dan Burn as well, he'd be looking at that and thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna twist you up tomorrow. Like, I think,
would you play him?
I'd play Wanyeri. Look, who's the other option? Sterling? No.
Yeah, or Martinelli and Trossard.
Martinelli hasn't been a bad option on that right, but I think when we've got a different threat, when we've got a left footer that's doing the inverted job. If Martinelli's left foot was any decent, I'd be a bit more inclined to maybe.
I think another worry for him, mate, will be like, again, just coming off the back of what you just said there, it just came to me. We've already said that Dan Burn wouldn't be too happy coming up against Namweri. The fact that he can cut in on that left foot as well, that will mess with Burn's head as well. You think, oh, there's that in his locker as well. I've got to keep my eye on if he goes that way or he's got to go that way. Yeah. Where Martinelli, it's just he'll be thinking he's going to try and take me down the line.
Exactly. And Wanyeri's good on both feet as well. He can work that right foot as well. He can cut back inside, and I think it would be one for Wanyeri for tomorrow. Melvin, an opportunity to, with the momentum as you're saying before, an opportunity to really put the pressure on Newcastle here. Get the crowd, have our crowd behind us, and get their crowd a bit nervous. An opportunity to get through to the to get to the final of a cup.
I think that Newcastle will. I think there's doubt in their mind, not because we beat City 5-1. That's a part of it. But do they attack us or do they defend?
Yeah, good point. Good point, mate. Yeah.
They don't know how to play it. So I think that is a big advantage for us. We can actually take that, and we don't have to score straight away. I mean, we could do a Liverpool away, can't we? We can score minute before half time or 10 minutes into the second half. If we get a goal, if we keep the scores level as long as we like, and then nick a goal, all of a sudden you'll see the blood drain from their faces.
100%.
Quiet. I think the crowd will be quiet, and I think that the players, all of a sudden, they'll lose that little bit of spark. So I wasn't looking when I walked out the Emirates the other week watching the game, I wasn't looking forward to the return. Now I am.
Yeah. No,
I agree. Who do you see starting, Steve? What do you think the starting line's going to be? Obviously, Raya in goal, no option there. Got to put out his strongest team, surely.
Yeah. Just quick shout out for Raya. He's absolutely unbelievable, isn't he? This guy. There's a couple of saves he made against Man City as well. We've got to bring them out. He's up there with one of the best goalkeepers this season, if not the best. Do you know what I mean? But no, I think we should go as strong as possible, mate. We got no game the weekend.
Yeah.
So we're off to Dubai on Thursday. So look, that I think, and that could be another little incentive. Do you know what I mean? We're off to Dubai on Thursday. Let's go and really hammer Newcastle to pieces.
Yeah.
Right, and we're off to the flying out there. I mean, what a great way to start your holiday, or when we go off to Dubai on Thursday. But yeah, look, for me, Raya, it'll be Timber, it'll be Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori or Lewis Skelly. Whoa. Got a funny feeling he might play Calafiori.
Yeah.
Got a funny feeling he might play Calafiori. But either or for me. I ain't any beeswax, but I'm just thinking what Arteta might do. Maybe because Lewis Skelly give him a break or something and put Calafiori in. Then again, the confidence of Lewis Skelly might play into it a bit. I don't know. Either or for me. Either or. And then the three in the middle, Partey, Rice, and Odegaard with Nwaneri. I play Nwaneri on the right, Martinelli on the left, and Kai Havertz up front. And just we need to wrap him up in cotton wool.
Yeah, we do.
We need to wrap him up in cotton wool, because if he gets injured now, we might speak a little bit about thingy transfers and yesterday, maybe a bit. But yeah, he needs his Dubai break. He does more than anybody. So yeah, that'd be my team, mate.
Mel, what would your starting lineup be against Newcastle?
I would probably play Calafiori. The kid's played a lot. You got to remember he's a kid, played a lot, and he's Calafiori's played on the big occasions, isn't he, as well? So nothing phases him. He's a buccaneering footballer, I call him.
I like him. I like
him. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah. Did you see him though? Did you just know if you see him, Mel? Like after the goal, I think he came on for about 2 minutes against Man City. But the smile on that bloke's face when they come off in the tunnel, because I was watching the video after. I don't know if you know Arsenal. I think it's that Frimpong does the videos.
Yeah.
Coming through, he does, doesn't he? And you see Calafiori's face. He's like. He's massive smiles. He's doing this.
He's proper bought into it, isn't he?
But he smiles as big as like the size of the Emirates.
That smile says, "I'm so happy I signed for this club."
Yeah, and he's only on for 5 minutes. It's only on, but brilliant. And sorry, mate, interrupt, mate, but go on.
No, I think Calafiori. I think the rest of the team practically picked itself. really. I don't think he probably won't start with Nwari again. He'll play him sub again. Always good to win. Yeah. You play Trossard and Martinelli wide and Havertz up front, Steve. I mean, there's nothing else to do. Sorry, that's what you got to do.
I don't like Martinelli on the right, mate. I don't like him on the right. Just don't like him there.
I think he's done all right, mate. I think his form's picked up a bit.
The only good thing about him on the right, Steve, is when he does get past the back, he can cross it straight away.
Yeah.
He's right. He's naturally crosses it in instead of stopping, cutting back and crossing it in.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I'm not saying I prefer him on the right, but it's got its advantages. So I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He done well for the goal, Havertz goal, didn't he?
Very well. Very well.
Yeah.
So we can't think about that.
Yeah. So not the kids then. Keep the kids on the
kids on the bench, in my opinion. Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen because I can never second guess the manager, but I believe that's probably what he might do. You know what I mean? I think that's what he would do. That's what I would do, but obviously he knows a little bit more than me. But that's what I think.
And as Steve said, a trip to Dubai. We saw the last time we had a trip to Dubai. We came back refreshed, rejuvenated, and went on a bit of a run where I think we only dropped points in one game, and that was
we lost one game, didn't we, Kieran? Lost one game.
After Dubai, we only lost one game. Was that the Man City game? Was it?
No, Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
Yeah. It was Aston Villa, wasn't it? So this just Dubai break could be exactly what's needed. We've seen a lot of players sort of running on fumes at the moment. Havertz being one of them.
I think Ben White, he might come back to play after the Dubai break. I think he'd come back lighter because he spends all his time under the old ray lamp and they ain't got any over there. And the sun won't be as good as the ray lamp he's got. I think he'll come back.
I think the sun's a little bit better than that ray lamp he's got.
It'd be good to see Ben back. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it would be. Steve, Dubai break, just the right timing for us.
Yeah, it worked last year, didn't it? You know, we went on a fantastic run. We went into it. I don't think we wasn't playing that well leading into it. It was a little bit different this time because we're starting to hit a little bit of form. But that's why it'd be so good. You know, it's not often that I like Arsenal to have a break because you know you just want to see your team playing all the time in every competition. But I think I'm not saying getting knocked out of the cup's done us a favour, but it's certainly given us a chance for the boys to have a rest. You know, to go and have a little. Obviously, they'll be training a lot, but you know they'll have their own little bit of fun and sort of time where they can enjoy themselves as well. So it's be a good break for them. So I welcome it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, look, then we come back. You know, we could be 9 points behind Liverpool by the time we come back. But I think the important thing now for Arsenal is just for me anyway, is just for us to carry on from this. You know, keep this form up to the end of the season. And let's just see where it takes us. And if we finish second behind Liverpool, then so be it. Do you know what I mean? We've had the problems, we've had circumstances that other teams, haven't had during the season. I know Man City have had their problems, but we've had our problems as well. Probably more problems, in fact, regarding our team. You know, if you're going for a title, that's for sure. So, yeah. Just go in, let them go enjoy yourself, have a break, and let hopefully the gods will do us a favour, and while they're out there, or probably be back by then, won't they? But maybe Everton can do us some kind of favour, and nick something off of them, whether it's a draw or something. But yeah, I think it's good, mate, isn't it? So hopefully they can just repeat what they did last year after when they come back.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's exactly what we want. We want a nice run for Arsenal, good momentum. Hopefully the warm weather break will sort out any little niggling injuries and tightness and everything like that. And I think that's what it's for. Just a well-earned break and just a break through the season. Cut things up. I think hopefully, as you said, the momentum is carried on and we can finish the season very well. Because if we can put the pressure on Liverpool and show some consistency and show wins like that, because that's the thing that it does frustrate me about Arsenal sometimes, is when we have the opportunity to really go for the jugular, we don't. We stand off a little bit. We wait. We try and be a bit more patient, and then. But for me, that allows the team to grow in confidence, because when we score, especially early, some teams almost you can see them thinking, "Oh no, we're going to get an absolute hiding here," and then Arsenal sit off and allow them to play, and it's like they almost want to hit them on the break. They want to hit them on the counter. And then their team just start passing it around, and all of a sudden, you can see the confidence start getting back into the team. They get a couple of shots off. Next thing you know, it's 1-0, and then we're on the back foot again. We can't do that. We really can't do that. We nearly did it against Man City, and I think we had a bit of a wake up call very quickly. And as Melvin said, we got that early quick response, which then it kicked us into gear. I think we've got to remember where we were there. As soon as we get that goal, get another one. Start smashing these teams and finishing off the game before half time, which is what we were doing over the last couple of seasons. So we're definitely in our locker. Yeah. I think I noticed Russ said earlier, I mentioned something about transfer. He said, I think it's deplorable that we didn't get anyone in the January transfer window. Mikel Arteta, there's an article in The Guardian that says Mikel Arteta is disappointed at Arsenal's lack of January transfer activity. The manager had wanted reinforcements for a depleted attack. We're going to have to be very flexible in our front line. I think Mikel Arteta knows that he hasn't got many options, so he might have to get a bit creative here, especially with Kai Havertz. He's definitely got to look after Kai Havertz. He can't be playing him into the ground because this is not a time where we've got anyone who could potentially come in as a replacement or slip into that position. There's very few options that can play up front. Maybe some people get their wish and we see Martin Elliott have a little stint up front in some games. Who knows? But Steve, what's your thoughts on the article? Mikel Arteta not happy. The board potentially had an opportunity to see if they could get something done. What's the thoughts on that?
Well, I haven't read the article. I see his his post-match, his pre-match conference for the Newcastle today. I watched that, and he was asked the same question. So I'm assuming what's in it is what's in the article. He basically said, "Look, we tried, but basically we just didn't want to bring anybody in. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? And we wanted to pay the right money for what we thought, the player was. Look, I mean, I know we tried to get players that we want, and I know Arsenal fans are disappointed. But again, I like I said last night, not one Arsenal fan has come up with a player that makes any sense that we should have bought. And I've asked the questions a lot to Lowe, and not one's come up with one. So that we could have brought in. We couldn't. We didn't. There was no loans to be had from British players, so that was out of the question. That was never going to happen. So we had to look abroad. Or buy someone in this country, and there just simply wasn't anyone to buy them. We tried to get some of our summer targets to come in January. I know that for a fact, but the clubs who didn't want to sell them, in January, halfway through the season. But it's like I said, it's fans are fans, and they want signings, but you just can't go and buy anybody. You just can't go and pick people up, pick players out of thin air. You can't make players come. You can't make clubs sell. And I've seen a lot today about the board has let us down. How has the board let us down? I have no idea what the board's got anything to do with letting us down. And I say people can explain. And you watch it on Twitter, come over and ask me the questions, but it's not their fault. Do you know what I mean? The board, it's not their fault that, what do they want them to do? Do they want to go and, kidnap the player? Do they want to go and, put an horse's head in the owner's, RB Leipzig's owner's bed, or the Sporting Leipzig's owner's bed? make them an offer they can't refuse. It makes. I've not heard anything that makes any sense. And as I say, not one player. They want Isaac. It's not happening. It's not happening in the summer. I'm telling you that. So forget about it. So, yeah, as I said, I'm in the camp of that. If your main target's not available, you wait until the summer and then you get him. And the Watkins thing, right, was blown right out of proportion, way out of proportion. I actually came out today because I spoke to David Ornstein. He told me days ago and he's come out now and actually mentioned it in a video. But Arsenal never put a bid in for Watkins, and they never put a bid in for 60 million. They had a conversation with Watkins, with Aston Villa, and they spoke, and they felt Arsenal, and we through the grapevine, we all found out that they valued him at 40 million, and that was it. So because that's all that we've got to spend in January, that's the type of money we got.
For that, can I ask you something, Steve? Why is that only 40 million? The money we got. Why is there a limit on how much we got?
Well, it's PSR and FFP and things like that, and
we spend a lot of money then.
They've got to budget the money if you're bringing in Ollie Watkins, that's it. You're done. You've got to.
For how long?
What?
For how long?
No, if you bring in Ollie Watkins as your number 9, and you've still got Havertz there, then forget your main target. You're not getting your main target in the summer. Done. You're finished. So that's why I said it doesn't make. They would have paid less for Watkins. 40 million. Say, yeah, we're taking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Villa, you're talking.
Villa ain't going to let him go for 40 million, are they?
Well, no. But this is what they tried. Ollie Watkins could have put pressure on Villa. He wants to play for Arsenal. He's 28 years old. He's 29 at the end of the season, I think it is. He goes 29 then, or something like that anyway. Do you know what I mean? He's not worth 80 million or nothing like that.
No.
And he's not what he's not a panic buy. He's someone that, because Jesus got injured, we thought, let's see if we can get Watkins for 40 million. We tried to get Valavic on an option, but Juventus didn't want it. We tried to get Sesko to come in January. Leipzig said go and do one. Isaac, that's laughable, right? So
he's 120 million and going up.
So if anybody can give me a name that makes sense that we could have brought in, I'm all ears.
I've got one. But if we can, I know someone said we can't do any loans, but we could get around that. But
you can't get around. How can you get around it?
The goalie we bought on the goalie we got on loan.
No, you can't. You can't.
Can't you buy him?
No, you can't, mate. You can buy him.
Yeah.
But
then he's not a loan player.
Yeah, but they don't want to buy him, do they? Why do they want to buy him?
For a couple of million, what's he going to cost? 2 million? He's 35 years old. We saw how good he was the other day. I mean, 2 million to get change, I reckon. Right? I think I'd have done that to open the door for you and Ferguson on loan. Cost us nothing, just the wages.
Yeah, but what for?
Evan Ferguson is then costing you the 2 million that you've paid for the goalkeeper that you don't want, just so you can get off the loan, and then you've got to pay the money for Evan Ferguson on loan.
Only the wages, those, Kieran. Only wages.
Having you in charge of my finances.
Yeah, but Evan Ferguson.
You wouldn't like to see someone like that come off the bench or start for us as a
Ferguson.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
No, not really.
Do you know what?
He's a centre forward. He's not.
I see Evan Ferguson. Yeah,
he's just a
early
centre forward
doors in his career. Yeah, I didn't understand the hype. I thought he looks a good player. Looks all right. Big lump, but that was it. And I've watched more, and I wonder what the hype is. I'm still wondering, and he's injury prone as well. I don't see it, if I'm honest. Yeah. I don't see it.
Can you imagine
there's not enough pace? There's not enough for his hold up. There's not enough about him.
I'd rather have him at centre forward than having our left back play at centre forward if Havertz gets injured. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Did you see him
Havertz
the other night?
We are struggling, mate.
Yeah, no, we are in trouble. We are.
I'd rather have him not just a backup. Bring on the last 10 minutes. Something different.
Yeah,
Everton Ferguson wanted to leave to play. What's the point in coming to Arsenal sitting on the bench? He might as well stay at Brighton and sit on the bench, mightn't he? Do you know what I mean? At least he's got more chances.
He would have got more minutes at Arsenal than he's got at Brighton.
No, I don't agree with that.
I do because his third choice at Brighton, Pedro, Welbeck gets in front of him, but that's a worry to me. That's a concern. Why is Danny Welbeck getting in front of Evan Ferguson if Evan Ferguson is the guy that's going to potentially help us going forward?
No, but Ferguson wanted to play. He wants to play. He wanted to play. So that's why he's gone West Ham, because he'll walk straight in the team. He'll start straight away. He'll be their number 9. Yeah. So, and what's Arteta's spiel going to be? You're back up to Havertz, mate. Do you know what I mean? You can come at Arsenal.
You have to earn your spot.
You have to earn your spot, and he's like what you said. He's injury prone as well. So we're going to pay money for an injury prone striker who might not even get on if Havertz needs a rest or something. And don't forget, he's got to do what Havertz does, and he is nowhere near the player Havertz is. You won't get Evan Ferguson running around, dropping in deep, going out to the left wing, running back, running forth. Yeah, he's a lump who stays up front. That's not an Arsenal player. That's not an Arsenal player.
Steve, if's a very big word in life. If we wouldn't have beat City on Sunday, how much would Havertz have been under pressure, and the manager for not getting a centre forward?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Yeah, but then see, I'm not getting into that because I don't like it.
It's not about the understanding of how it works.
It's
about the optics. It's about the optics, yeah. And no matter how well Havertz has done this season, because he's done very well, yeah. People will see that missed shot, yeah, and immediately you had the pundits, you had this, you had that. They were all talking about Havertz's missed shot, yeah. They are the optics. Now, forget about what me and you say. But the optics is more than what we see, and other fans and rivals and pundits and newspaper and the media. They are the ignition for the sheep out there that either don't have their own mind or have been always on this. We need a striker. We need a striker. If we don't get a striker, I want the manager gone. I want Kroenke gone. I want so and so gone. This is rubbish. So they are the optics, and when people like that make noise, that's when you get the wider people go, "Oh, this is what Arsenal fans are saying," because they're not listening to the ones that are quiet that think, "What are they talking about? That's nothing." They're listening to the ones that are making noise and are in hysterics all the time.
Don't care, but my point, who cares?
No, but Steve, that's not the point.
Of course it is. We're talking about
you not caring is one thing. That's fine. They're being stress-free. You're okay. But
they're not. But
it's
they're not the manager, though, are they?
But me and you.
Who cares what they think? We know what the manager thinks.
The Arsenal fan base. That's it. No, but that's not how
what they think.
That's not how life works, though, is it?
But Arteta's not listening to them. So why should not? If Arteta wouldn't, I know for a fact Arteta that he's not listening. He rates Havertz. He'd play him every week if he could, right? So who cares what
those people out there that are making noise about whatnot and whatnot.
So that's what I mean. Who cares? It doesn't mean anything what they say, does it? It matters what the manager thinks, right?
Of course, it doesn't mean anything what they say, but it's how unrest, it's how discomfort, it's how disgruntled people start off. It's how it starts. It's how it starts. Which is why we say, okay, give it in the next couple of seasons. We win a trophy, and that alleviates any sort of stress and noise and rubbish that comes from outside noise, where people are like, this person's been in charge for however long. they've won an FA Cup in this time. And that's how you keep everyone quiet, by here and there you winning a little cup while you're not winning the league.
See that I think this is where like I couldn't. I'm in in my sphere or in my headspace, if you like. That's just white noise. That's white noise to me, right? All it matters is what I see, right, and what I think, which I think, normal and like every other intelligent fan out there, and what the manager thinks. Over here, you got Everett's missed. Oh, we need to strike. Even though he's been absolutely brilliant since January of last season, right? But I don't care about any of that, mate. I don't care about any of that. It means nothing, because if in some world that what the fans meant, Arteta went, oh yeah, hold on a minute, maybe they're right. But they're not. It's irrelevant.
But in our world, after a certain time, it does matter what the fans say. It does matter what the media say. It does matter what the pundits say. It does. I watched Arsene Wenger, who was untouchable. People said he was untouchable. He was in charge. He runs things. He says when he goes. I watched this team be slowly drained of any energy, sapped of any life, because the noise, which was the which we all ignored for the first 2 years, became the big noise. And the big noise, anytime the big noise came out, the wider people listened. And then that noise became the general consensus. And our voices didn't get heard over it in the end, because it was like almost as if, what are you talking about? This is the most of the fans. And you're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And then it started feeding into the stadium. And then all of a sudden, your manager's sacked. That's how it starts.
It took about 7 years for that to happen for Wenger.
Yeah, and how long has Mikel Arteta been in charge, Steve?
He won't finish in second.
5 years.
And he was.
So therefore, within the next couple of years,
he's been on.
We get a trophy that alleviates any sort of noise, because our main focus is the Champions League and the Premier League. Yeah, but if along the way we win an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, or this or that, do you know what I mean? Get to a Champions League final, even. Yeah, because that's if you're talking about what equates, you're probably talking about a Champions League final. FA Cup for, I mean, some people would probably choose the Champions League final. Personally, I'd happily have an FA Cup, but those sorts of things shut people up. Those sorts of things stop people from asking, when's this manager going to get something over the line, to this team's got something. It's going to happen. It's in a couple of years. And you saw that with Jurgen Klopp, because he came in with all the experience in the world. People don't seem to forget. A manager who was managed since 1987, who came in after winning a Bundesliga, getting to a Champions League final, pushing Bayern Munich every step of the way, every season consistently. He came in and didn't win anything for the first couple of years, but got to finals, got to this, got to that. And all of this time, he won one Premier League. And people are blowing smoke up his arse like he's one of the greatest managers of all time. When he ain't. When he ain't. And that comes, that alleviation of pressure came because he won this. He got into a final of this. He got to this. That stops people from talking. That stops the noise. So the focus is the football team. And we can't forget the impact that this team, our fans, have on the team. 2 years ago, the team was rocking. We clapped Saliba off when he got a red card. That don't happen. This fan put the team over that edge multiple times. And hopefully we can do that this season with the support that we've got. We're garnering at the moment now. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's the be all and end all. I'm just saying these things start off by people making noise. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I disagree, but as I say, I just can't get into the. I mean, I don't know how Melvin feels. Maybe I like to see what he thinks. But yeah, I don't listen to fans. It's what the manager thinks. you know, and that's it for me. Do you know what I mean? I asked, well, I can't really say it on this show, but yeah, it's yeah. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that Arsenal fans, you know, a lot of us are very
entitled,
very picky. When there's a, you know, oh, you see that they've got genders on certain players.
Oh yeah.
If they don't like a player, right, that's it. Yeah. And if they might have said it 6 months ago that they don't like that player, but that player might be played really good. But if he misses a chance, right, it'd be like, we need a striker. I told you about him, right? And that's why I can't listen to this crap, right? I think I know my manager. I think I know the way he thinks, right? And that's all I need. That's all I need. I know what I see. And I don't like the fact of fans when they call out players who are basically running it, they're absolute cods off. And yeah, I don't like it. You know where I was with Xhaka. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't like it then. And I just don't know why Arsenal fans do it. I don't hear other fans do it. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but I don't hear them do it. It always seems to be Arsenal fans.
They do. Look. We only have to look at where Havertz come from. We saw how nasty that fan base was. They had montages quicker than before he'd even signed for Arsenal. They had 2-3 minute videos of Havertz misplaced passes before he'd even signed on the dotted line.
How can we put any of our players down that since Arteta's come in, say from 2022-23, I can't slag off any. I couldn't pick any of them out. Do you know what I mean? For what they did. Do you know what I mean? For the club.
Steve, when you're talking about Arsenal fans, have you ever watched our Spurs fans? Their reaction.
I don't listen to any.
No, but they are quite negative as well. They got more to be negative about. I agree. Yeah, but they can be damning as well.
I think it depends who you're listening to. I mean, and what circle I choose who I listen to. I don't listen to all these podcasts. I listen to some podcasts, but I choose who I listen to. One of the podcasts that I listen to, and I speak to them regularly, and it's because of their knowledge of the game. I just enjoy listening to them, right? Because of when they speak about their team, it's knowledgeable, and that's Last Word on Spurs. The guys on there, you will listen to them speak, and I'll listen to them, and I think you're honest about your club.
What they saying about Ange Postecoglou? They're being honest about him.
No, they're getting to a point now where they just don't like him now. They don't feel he's the right man. But I'll watch it because they don't slag off Arsenal. They big them up. They say that, I wish we was like it. Do you know what I mean? So you pick who choose. If you're going to go look in the wrong places, listen to these.
What's it what they called again, Steve? What's the name of it?
Last Word on Spurs. They're all the guys around of our age.
Life.
Jamie Brown. What's his name?
Jamie's not on there no more, but they're all guys of our age.
Yeah, what's it called? Life.
Last Word on Spurs. Ricky Stapp.
I think I've seen that. No, I think I have seen that.
Ricky Stapp, James Cracknell. There's Matthew Tyrant. They've got a couple of actors who come on there, but they talk like proper football people. Do you know what I mean? And they're our age. I can't listen to these knobheads. You know what I'm talking about. You know the ones.
It's a good stat. It's usually Hente with the stats. Our guys, 68 wins and only 13 losses to the Premier League over 100 games. The last 100 games, Pep has 68 wins and 15 losses. If Arsenal fans are slagging off Arteta, they don't. How can I help them? It's a good point, Garvo.
How many games we lost this year in the Premier League? Like since 2024, 1, 3.
Two.
We lost 3. 3.
Yeah. What, this season you're talking about?
No, 2 this season.
For this year.
Like when you look at the table, it's crazy. Like if you look at we've lost 2 games this season. It's 2 games this year, isn't it? Yeah, I thought it was.
From January last year to now, right? So in a whole year, we've lost 3 Premier League games.
Yeah.
And if you listen to Arsenal fans, you would think we're like 3 games. Let that sink in. 3.
Listen.
3.
I've been critical of Arsenal, of the manager. You're allowed to be critical, I believe. Not overcritical, critical.
Well, when you've only lost 3 games in the Premier League in a year, you can't be too critical.
No. But I think he's made mistakes. He may not have made mistakes. It might have been my perception that he's made mistakes. But if you'd have told me 4 or 5 years ago that we would be beating City 5-1 at the Emirates, I think you've got to go in a straitjacket.
Or even fighting for the title.
Or even being on the same planet as them, in terms of football.
Yeah. I remember saying
that. As much critical I've been of him, I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Do you know I said, do you know what? Give me just give me back in the Champions League football. I'm not going to be greedy. Eventually, one time within my lifetime, we're going to go for the title again. Just give me, because it was so dark down there. It was horrible. I'm talking the second season with Emery, then the third and fourth season. Well, towards the end of this fourth season with Arteta, you could see it was coming together. But the first season with Arteta, where we had that squad, and there's nothing he could do with it, but he had to get in the loans of Cedric, Mari, and I'm looking at Callum Chambers like, you know, there's a player in there. Mari's not bad, you know. It was
Rob Holding. What about Rob Holding? Everyone's still
Rob Holding. To be fair to him,
Kolasinac, Mustafi, they're good players. We're talking about.
He in the FA Cup final with
Germany. Mustafi won World Cup.
You know what he should have done, Kieran? After that cup final, should have hung his boots up.
Or just go and move to a different club.
You just said
get in Palace's team when he went there.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. But you've just said, like, it's like since Arteta's came in, what is it, 5 years now? You say 5 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, from where we was, right, the club was a cesspit, wasn't it?
On his knees.
Right on its knees.
He had stock. All his stock was out of date.
If someone would have told you that, you know, in 5 years, for the 3 of those years, you'd be challenging for the title, finish second, and then second again. And then in that last season, there would be this new Super League, and Arsenal will be third in that Super League, and qualified with all the top teams in European football into the knockout stages in front of Real Madrid and all that. And people would think you're off your absolute deck.
Semi-finals of the Champions League.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, but it's like, oh, there's a new Super League coming out, but Arsenal got for this third in it. And there'd be teams like Real Madrid, Juventus, Man City, all these teams, they'd have to be playing qualifying rounds to get through to the next round. But Arsenal finished third in this Super League. You'd be like, what? 3 title challenges. And it's like, and this is why I can't listen to, like, that's why I get triggered when people start to have a go at Arsenal.
Because I knew that we qualified because I couldn't work it out otherwise.
To be fair, look, I'm not a fan of the new.
Have you been turned yet? You've been turned yet?
That last day was good. I have to agree with the last day where there was 18 games at one time, where every goal that went in meant that so-and-so weren't through, where we end up seeing the Club Bruges, who lost their game, but because they had enough goal difference, were able to still get through and they celebrated in front. That is what you want to see. You like that. I like that. That's entertainment. But I still don't like the format. I still don't like the uncertainty of not knowing that I've got someone who came second in that group below me, and the second is Shana Savannah from Uzbekistan. And right now, I could be placing Barcelona or Bayern Munich or Real Madrid or whoever else is down, and it shouldn't be down there.
We've got some tough ones, and we've got PSV, or who's the other one? AC Milan, Juventus, and the other Dutch team, isn't it? Feyenoord.
Yeah.
Feyenoord, PSV, AC Milan, or Juventus in the next round. One of those. And one.
To be honest, I'll take any of them.
I'll take any of them. Yeah,
I'll take any of them. Like, it's not easy games at all. That's not what I'm saying. But any of them are teams where you think, do you know what, they're beatable. They're good names, some solid names. Juventus, AC Milan.
Yeah.
They're not in the best form.
No.
Ideally, I'd rather stay away from AC Milan. They've got a little bit more Champions League pedigree recently than the others, but
yeah. They've got some good players, haven't they? They've got Rafael, Leo.
Yeah, they're a bit more. They're a bit more solid than Juventus are. So I'd rather stay away from them. But yeah, look, it could be worse. The names that we've seen down there.
Yeah,
it could have got pretty rough. Quickly before we go, Melvin, what was your thoughts on the Ollie Watkins potential signing? Was it something that interested you? Did you think it would have been the right fit?
Not necessarily. Not if it like Steve said, if it meant that we had less to spend in the summer on a forward, then I'd put us out the market for the big number one. No, if it was just for a quick fix, it weren't going to cost us much money. Obviously, yeah, but we weren't going to get it for 40. Villa ain't going to sell it for 40, so it was a non-goer.
It was a strange one, Melv, weren't it? Do you think?
Yeah.
It was a strange one that, you think, okay, if he did come in.
Yeah, but it's like going to Tesco's and bidding 40p for something that's on the shelves at 80p. You know what I mean? It wasn't going to happen, is it?
Yeah, it was a weird one.
It was. It was one of them ones where I was like, "Hey, they're getting a signing." It was like that. It was like, "Oh yeah." And every time more and more I thought about it, I was thinking, "Oh, do you know what? Actually, I don't want Ollie Watkins. He's never been a player. He's a player I like. I appreciate what he can do. He's honest. He works hard, but he's not a killer. And I don't see the point of bringing in Ollie Watkins to be the main man. When I think you got to go for someone who's more clinical and would suit the team better. And I don't think that one's Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
Look at his Champions League form. I think when he steps it up into the higher levels, he gets found out a little bit. Not to be honest,
I think he misses too many chances for my liking. And he's 29-ish, right? We've had chances to buy him in the past, right? And there's an old saying in life: if you miss the wedding, don't go to the funeral.
I think Arteta's looking for someone. Sesko fits the bill because he's very similar. He's like a younger Havertz, if you like, who's more of a striker.
Yeah, you said that it's more of a Edu signing. Do you think that would potentially put Arsenal off going for him still? Or do you think they've got they like the profile of no?
Yeah, look, transfers. Look, we never know what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? All of a sudden Arsenal could be given some money or something could come up from somewhere, and it might be all from what we're hearing in the industry at the moment. We're all being told that if it's 100 million, then Arsenal are not going to be in that. Going to go for that type of player when you can pick Benjamin Sesko up for half that price, who's 5-6 years younger.
Yeah,
it's just not. It's not feasible. Do you know what I mean? So look, it might come to a point where Sesko might change his mind. Isaac might put pressure on them, and do you know what I mean? The price might come down. All these things can happen in transfers. But as we sit, do you know what I mean? I think because Arteta went for Isaac, wanted Isaac before. Do you know what I mean? We went for him once before, and he decided to stay where he was. I think, or was it, I don't know what it was now. Can't remember the reason. Can't remember the reason why he didn't come, but it was we did go. Yeah. No, he was at Sociedad, wasn't he? Is that?
Steve, just one before we go. I heard Miguel Delaney, chief reporter of The Independent, on a podcast today saying Arsenal in the summer, Zubimendi practically done, and they want Williams and Sesko.
It's what I've been saying, isn't it? It's what I've been saying
for a while.
All the time,
so yeah, watch this space, Galvo. Watch this space. Make sure you join us on Mondays for the Transfer Exchange show. We'll keep you up to date on anything happening on any of the transfers in England. And also make sure you join us on Tuesdays. You can dig deep and ask a couple of questions as well on those transfers as well. Big game tomorrow. Arsenal in the Carabao Cup against Newcastle, hoping to see the nerves of the Newcastle fans rattled as soon as Arsenal score that early goal. They could be worried. This is what I want to see tomorrow. Newcastle fans, as Arsenal take an early lead and the nerves resonate around St James's Park.
Score predictions, kids. Score
predictions. Arsenal 3, Newcastle 0.
Yeah, I was going to go the same. So yeah,
Mel?
I've got to stick with that 3-0.
I'm going 2-0, win it on penalties.
Nerves.
I can't handle this penny. I want to sit down, have a nice little Wednesday night. Just sit down.
Nice little Wednesday night. Arsenal.
Nice little Wednesday night. Not all right.
Yeah, you got maybe like a 3-0 head start, a 2-0 lead. You might be able to rest a little bit and relax a bit. But when Arsenal playing, I can't relax. Not until that final whistle's done. All right, thanks for joining us tonight, people. If you are following on Twitter, make sure you press that like and that share button, press that retweet. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe if you are new to the show. And if you are regular, hit that like and hit that share button. It makes a big difference. Thanks for joining us tonight, Steve and Melvin.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, boys.
All right, peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.